Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dev Diary. So this week, and really this month, we're working on a few projects smaller in scale. And starting with today's project, which will make more sense if we take it a step at a time. So before we get too far into things, remember to leave a like if you enjoyed today's video, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We do all sorts of fun game dev stuff here every week, so make sure notifications are turned on to never miss future videos. So with that said, today we're taking the concept of a simple memory match puzzle and turning it into some type of RPG. Sounds weird, right? Well, let's start with a look at the memory match part. Starting with the selection of a tile, or as they are referred to in the project, cards. When a card is chosen, it triggers a chain of events. First, that card is flipped, and if it so happens to be the second card that's been flipped, we assume a match needs to be made. This runs a sequence of events that decides the player's fate based on their guess. For example, if the player matches 2 attack cards of the same type, they are fine. However, if the choices do not match, they will take damage from both cards. On the other hand, there are also cards like the gold bag or healer that actually reward the player with gold or heal them if both cards match respectively. And there are also 2 card types that don't do anything, giving the player at least some modicum of reprieve. And just so the player knows what's happening during this part of the sequence, text is displayed explaining what each effect is doing. Once the necessary effects have been applied, the sequencer continues. If the cards match, they're locked so they can't be flipped again. If they don't match, they're reset. And just like your average memory match game, if the entire board has been unveiled, the encounter is won. And obviously if the players lost all their health points, then the encounter is lost. Now from a technical standpoint, it's both pretty slick and a nightmare. The entire board consists of a single array, with each card being its own struct. And this makes the access to the card data a lot more smooth by only needing their index value. The mess comes from adding the RPG elements after the fact, and thus had to attach it to the system with duct tape and gum. So the application of effects is messy and not very flexible. Now on the positive side, however, this project helped me learn a little bit more about creating weighted randomness, which should make future projects really pop with some real drop tables. Honestly, very excited for that. Now generally speaking, I think this was actually a lot more solid of an idea than anticipated. I think that the effects should probably be reversed, so the board is not so much the encounter, but simply the way a player interacts with the encounter. So matching attack cards will deal damage to an enemy, and heals would heal the player, and so on. Now it would need some major rewriting to be less of a mess, but I feel like there's a genuine idea hidden in here somewhere. And so let me know if that's something you'd like to see, or if you've ever actually seen another game that's done this before. I would love to know your thoughts, so leave them in the comments. And if you would like to play a few of my other ideas that have been featured in previous videos, or want early access to weekly videos, subscribe to my Patreon. With that said, brings us to the end of today's Dev Diary, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.